March 30th, 11/11 in the 2021. What is going on? What's going on? Lots going on. Whew. I made it. I got here. In the chair. Put Lillian's book away. It's still here from last night. It's a good book. Next one's going to be super fun too. I'm excited. Uh-oh. Got a couple things sitting here. It's Tuesday. And I loved today with Mark Ruffin. So much fun. Some fun things happening this week that I'll tell you about in a little bit. There's a song going around right now on my page. Is it up there? I don't think I posted it. I will. Carl Hess, guitar player. Gary Callender, engineer, video extraordinaire guy. It's on both of their pages, and Rob Morocco is posting After the Gold Rush, Neil Young, timeless piece of artwork that he did, and we performed it this weekend, and Gary mixed it and videoed, and it's already on YouTube. I guess that's how quick kids do it these days, so we're just going to keep right up with them and just start doing it. Doing it. So I'm excited about that, and I'm super proud of it. I think, in fact, what I'll do right now is I'm going to post it, because why not, right? I'm going to post right this minute. Hold the wire. Got a little work to do here. Copy. Wait. Oh, when you do it from Messenger, you have to do this whole other no. You have to go more, copy, and then I go to Facebook and I go, what's on my mind? Ooh. This is what happens when you go in the studio with old friends who are at the top of their art, period. Thank you, comma. Oops. Thank you, comma. Carl Hess. Gary Callender. And Tim Spitali. Post. There. It's posted. And there's the happy sound that says it's posted. And now I'm just going to go and see. I don't know who that is. Somebody is on my page. But, oh, wait. Whoa. What's going on here? William D. Lindemann. Yeah, the kettle, my hot water. Carl Hess, Patty, William. Terrific Tuesdays. Today's Tuesday was super great. Yeah, the tea kettle, background noise. I love it because it's blue. It's really pretty. And between the crickets and the blue light, but you can actually hear the lake right now too. It's was roaring a little while ago, but there are 11 of you here. Hi 11ers. Let me get my tea. Actually, so let me just tell you one thing that's happening this week. Well, I'll tell you a couple things. Tomorrow morning, Patty and, well, we're doing lemon things, all things lemon tomorrow. Well, 2 things lemon. She made lemon bars, and I'm making this lemon almond torte. And then she's going to make the braided nest egg thing. So that's going to be fun. That's in the morning. And then tomorrow night, Stephanie Morocco. Stephanie. I don't know. Does she like Steph or Stephanie? I need to find that out. Rob and Carol's daughter is going to be our guest. And then Thursday morning, this person, the voice of this person speaking and the voice of this person singing is going to be right here on this show. Check it out. This isn't happening on Thursday night. Third Thursday of the month is now Corona Roki, just so you know. Okay, I'm going to get my tea.
Coming this Thursday, lives will be changed forever. 11:11 with Jenna presents Corona Roki International Limited. Bring your best, just stay home. Live from her state-of-the-art studios, the Lily Pad. Broadcasting throughout space and around the world to each and every home. 11:11 with Jenna. Jenna, Corona Roki International Limited this Thursday.
This Thursday, Patrick is going to be my guest. But the third Thursday is Corona Roki. And Thursday night is Conversations with the Creatives, and my friend Victoria is going to be here. Friday morning, Armando. Friday night, Display and Share. Saturday morning, one more Saturday morning with Jeff Metzger. Saturday night, one more Saturday night with Gary Lambert. And it goes from there. And it goes all the way up to today. Tonight, Tuesday. What happens on Tuesdays? I love it because I get to see one of my favorite people on the planet. Hey, Bill. Hey, Patty. Hey, Rob. Morocco. Share the show. Tell your friends what's going on here on 11:11. Something different. I don't know what we're going to talk about tonight, but, it's always a great conversation. I can't talk right now. A great conversation with my friend and many of yours. Dr. Andrew Rader. Hey now. Hey, Mama Grace.
Wait, I got to turn you off over here.
What are you reading?
I wasn't reading. I was following you on Facebook. The phone. You mean, what am I reading in general?
Yes, please. Let's talk about reading.
Well, a few years ago, this book called Sapien came out. Yuval Harari, I believe that's his name. It's only the history of humankind, and it's incredible. And then he has an illustrated version as well. The cartoon manga style. It's really cool.
And so you received the book a few years ago, and now you're reading it and learning.
Well, I got it out of the library a few years ago. Didn't realize it was 500-page tome. Of course, I didn't get through it in time to dutifully return the book on time. So I read part of it, returned it, and then, went down other rabbit holes and forgot about it. And then recently I was reminded of it. I actually saw a TED talk that he gave and said, man, I got to check that book out again. And I did. Still didn't get all the way through it. But then I ordered, or a friend actually bought for me the manga version.
Now, can you talk a little bit more about the manga version?
Well, it's, shortened, more concise, and hits the major points. Cartoon version. Mm-hmm. Cartoon version, like Art Spiegelman's Mouse. The Holocaust as a cartoon. If you had to pitch it in an elevator, it would. I don't know how that would go.
Check this out. I have this great idea.
Yeah.
Really, dude? One lobby immediately,
So
but somebody thought of it.
somebody thought of it. Some really interesting ideas. For instance, so humans were hunter, gatherer, scavenger for forever, and agriculture only came about a very short time ago, roughly 10,000 years ago, and we've been around for much, much longer. By the way, for those of you who don't realize it or know, we are Homo sapiens, the only humans left on the planet, Homo sapiens. There were dozens of other human species on the planet, including Neanderthals, Homo erectus, few others, and somehow Homo sapiens won out and no one else is left. And we won't get into recent DNA work shows that there's still some Neanderthal DNA left around in us. So that's a whole side topic. But what I wanted to talk about is how once agriculture came around, it really dumbed us down.
Once agriculture came around, it dumbed us down.
It certainly did. We had bigger brains before than we do now. And if you think about it, the average human had to know an incredible amount of information all in their heads because they couldn't access it on paper or in their devices. So all of the known information, all knowledge had to be between your ears. And you had to know details about the flora and fauna and the seasons and all the habits of these critters that we would need to either catch, hunt, eat, or somehow live with. Incredible amount of information. And now if you think about it, you could have a simple, you could have a job, even if you're a brain surgeon, there are only a few things you got to know. And in terms of getting your food and shelter, you just have to go to the store and pick a few things out. And most of the information that you are accessing through other sources. You're not completely holding it in your mind. And in fact, our brains have shrank, becomes.
It keeps doing that for some reason. I don't know why. Keep going.
Yeah. Now there was another book called Guns, Germs, and Steel. Have you ever heard of that one?
No. William, have you heard of that book? Guns, Germs, and Steel.
Steel.
Wow. Heavy.
Yeah, heavy. How did it end up that the Europeans came over to Central and South America and North America and dominated militarily and took over and colonized? Why didn't it go the other way around? Why didn't the Incas or the Aztecs or the Mayans cross the sea and kill Queen Elizabeth? Just didn't work out that way. And in Guns, Germs, and Steel, it was just purely different geographic coincidence. It has nothing to do.
So coincidences versus what they were thinking, what they were wanting to accomplish.
It wasn't that the European mind was superior in any way. It was circumstances of biology and geography. So for instance, agriculture started in the Fertile Crescent area, And if you, let's say around Israel and Egypt and Syria, and so if you were growing wheat and then somebody invaded your village, you could travel east along the same latitude. You can go hundreds of miles east and then set up shop somewhere else, and you have the same climate because you're on the same latitude. You can go east-west. You couldn't go west because you end up in the Mediterranean, but you can go east. You could run away from the invaders and set up shop and grow wheat again. And you could bring your animals, and those animals were unique to that area. The first domesticated animals, we had dogs, horses, cows, pigs. These are all animals that could not only do work for us, but they could also be our food. So many other places, like for instance, in South America, if somebody came and invaded your village, the way the geography is, you had to go north or south because of the mountain ranges. You couldn't just go east or west. So if you go north or south, you are changing climate.
Right.
And so if you were growing potatoes in Peru and then you head north, you're going to be in the tropics, and you can't grow what you've known. You can't have the same life. And so it became very difficult to just flee invasions. That's just one aspect. Then, because agriculture started in the Middle East, then you have congregations of large populations, and that's how plagues can happen. You can't have plagues in small hunter-gatherer groups. So those people who were in the area where agriculture started have been dealing with germs, plagues, for a very long time compared to other cultures in different parts of the world where there wasn't that congregation of populations that could hold a plague. So when the Europeans came to the Americas, they brought their germs with them. And those were new germs that the people here, they'd never seen before. So that's where most of the death and destruction came from. Not to say that there wasn't a lot of nastiness involved.
So Carl said something, couple things. He said, because they invented gunpowder. I don't know who invented gunpowder.
China.
China invented gunpowder.
As far as I know. Yep.
Interesting.
And noodles. Marco Polo brought them noodles back to Italy.
And okay, so the brain, the Homo sapien, so there were multiple. What do you?
There were
call
other humans, other human
other
species.
types of humans.
Yes, other human species.
Other human species.
Yes.
And because our brains have gotten smaller because of agriculture.
Yes. And all the fallout from agriculture. Mm-hmm. So with agriculture came specialization, right? So somebody could be a blacksmith, only do that, trade their labor and service for food. Mm-hmm. Right? If you're a blacksmith, you didn't have to grow the food. You didn't have to hunt the food. You didn't have to find the food. You just did blacksmithing and go on down the line. A shoemaker only needed to make shoes. Didn't have to do all the other things that you'd have to do if you're a hunter-gatherer scavenger. All they had to do is know how to make shoes or know how to shoe a horse. or
I wonder how artists were honored at that time.
that's a good question. It's a good question. They talked about the Sumerians being the first to have written language, but I think now I have to go back and check cave drawings in picture form. That was a form of communication, the earliest forms of communication. But the Sumerians, I think, had the first written alphabets, symbolic figures that would have a meaning.
Barter system. Yeah, I'm big into trade and time bank stuff. Like I've created that up in where I lived up in Mendocino County. They had barter stuff, but we had a time bank and we would get together once a week and you're a body worker, you have eggs, you're a blacksmith, you grow Jerusalem artichokes, and it was all trade, and it was time bank. I need someone to come over and paint XYZ for me, and I have this product or these two products. But I'm
Yeah.
totally into trade when it comes to um like even gigs. I've had a dentist have a concert for me and you know had a root canal, that kind of thing. Except I need another one on the same tooth for the third time.
Yeah, local currencies. Ithaca had a fairly successful one, and we tried to have one in Fairfax, but what happened was the local grocery store, Good Earth, ended up collecting all the local currency. It 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 fell apart.
So it was part of Good Earth.
No, it's part of Fairfax. They're called Fairbucks.
I remember Fairbucks.
You remember
Okay.
the idea is that you keep the economy local, you keep the money local. So
Right.
for instance, if you go to Safeway and you buy something, well, that money goes straight to Safeway headquarters, which could be out of state.
Right. It's in Texas or whatever.
Or if you go to Starbucks, it goes to Seattle, right? So local currencies would keep the exchange local, but it's tricky. It is tricky. And so what happened in Fairfax is the main source of exchange was the market, the natural food store. So everyone that earned their Fairbucks ended up spending it at the Good Earth. And then the Good Earth had no way to then recirculate that, right?
So I'm just as far as Fairfax goes right now. If you were to walk around town, do you see many things closed this year?
Well,
Besides obvious, besides Perry's.
I went into the city, and I mean San Francisco today, and it's a ghost town. It's a ghost town. And there was also a story about New York City as well. It's going on in probably all large cities where the office financial districts are empty.
Oh, I had
And
that ring on my phone. I was like this for a second. This is my phone.
and
Hi, Ruth Love.
and like are people from New Jersey going to commute into Wall Street anymore?
I've talked to people that live in New Jersey that have been, well, Gary Lambert's been in twice. He lives in Queens. My friend Jason, I think, has been in once or maybe twice, and he works at Jazz at Lincoln Center. I think he's been in twice now since March.
Yeah. So how is that going to work out? You know, you look at these massive buildings and no one's in them. Mm-hmm. And then all the food chain, the lunch places, the shoe repair, the
dry cleaners, all the
nail shop. I mean, everyone who services the people who commute in and work, they're not getting fed. And so it's, we're in a big change a period of change now.
Yeah. What did you go in the city for? What was the reason for your?
I brought a friend to an ophthalmology appointment, and they dilate your eyes, so he couldn't drive. So that's what we did.
And did you walk around? And I mean, so it was down in the financial district. Was the
No, it was at UCSF's new monstrous, massive new
right.
mega center right next to the Chase arena where the Warriors play.
Right.
It's like something out of a science fiction movie. It's bizarre. It could be the year 2075,
That whole area walking down there now?
Oh, we didn't walk down there. We went to the ferry building and then went up to Chinatown. Huh?
Where did you
park? Well, that's one of the blessings. When the city is empty, you can park. Right. Now your car might get, jacked, but I actually parked on Grant Street, and I told my friend, I've never experienced this. This has never happened in my life.
What, to park on Grant Street?
Park on Grant Street, which is the main street in Chinatown, which you could never park. You can never park.
It's funny, when I worked at Enrico's, I found parking on Grant Street all the time. But when I worked up at Russian Hill.
Well, you're talking Grant in North Beach side.
Right. But on Chinatown on the other side, yeah. When I worked at Russian Hill Recording Studio, that whole area, well, Chinatown. So what's that like to walk in Chinatown?
Well, there were more people there than the financial district. So I think it's just been about 2 to 3 weeks that things have opened up there. Mm-hmm. And there was signs of life.
Good. Great.
Yeah, it was good to see.
My Bill Jones, he lives in Edgewater, right across in New Jersey, and he hasn't been to New York in over a year.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to Texas, I was just using that as a random state, Dave Love. But yes, I know they're in Pleasanton, Safeway.
And one thing that I believe will happen is, the big chains, the Starbucks, the Pete's, the whatevers, they can hold out. They can have a storefront that's been empty for a year or two. And then when things come back, boom, they're ready to go.
Yeah, they can
the mom and pop places, they're never going to come back, or at least not in those locations. And so you'll have cities where it's only large corporations, and then what makes a city, right?
Well, the city, San Francisco's been changing so drastically over the last 10, 15 years anyway, with the .com, and compared to when we lived there and when it was the way it was, and now it's really different. And this past year, I know people that said August, there were moving trucks everywhere in the city. Everywhere. His people are probably moving to Fairfax and moving out further past because they have the money and they can do it, or they don't, they're not going to spend $7,000 to live in the city because their offices are closed.
Right. So this leads me to what I'd like to talk about. Not that this isn't interesting at all, but I don't think it's my area of expertise. Change, stress, and sleep. And
sleep?
I think,
what is this word sleep you speak of?
Yeah. I just heard this term today: revenge, procrastination, sleep.
Revenge,
have you ever?
Procrastination of sleep.
Something like that. Sleep revenge. And what it is people, so since COVID, people who have very busy days, even though they're working at home, at the end of the day, they postpone sleep because they're binging on Netflix or checking their Instagrams. Basically,
Yes, Julie, it's awful.
they're doing their entertainment, their free time instead of sleep. And
Yeah, and
hey, me too. I guilty. You know, let's watch that next episode of Lilyhammer, which is really fun.
I've been getting into podcasts and I listen to a lot of people on YouTube. Like I'll take classes and
Yep.
stuff and different seminars and stuff on YouTube.
Yep.
But I am guilty of, oh, let's just watch one more. Grace and I are rewatching Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
It's just so good. It's so good. But yeah, you want to watch another one? You want to watch another? Want to watch another one? Yeah, sure. 2:30, Mom. We
and,
got to go to bed.
and because they're only like 20 something minutes,
Right.
they're short. You end up saying, oh, it's only 20 something minutes. And it's, well, look at you. It's 11
We
some.
were just, Dave Love just said, I think the doctor just said, let's move the show up an hour.
Now I get to do the show at 8:11.
Right. Well, there are people watching it from coast to coast right now.
Yeah.
So, but if I were to have done the show at 8:11,
Then you got 8:11 in the morning.
right, and people in Cal, it would be, it just worked. I just follow where I was at the time, and it worked out.
It doesn't sound as good. 8:11.
11 and 11, 8:11 with Jenna. Yeah, doesn't. 9, 7, 7:11 with Jenna, but then it'd be 7:11 in the morning.
Yeah, and then you get a cease and desist order from you know who.
Right. Yeah, right. I came from a family of 9 kids on my mother's side, so I now know how to grow food, but I have also been a hunter, outdoorsman. I could survive if the grid went down. Yeah, Carl, totally. We're all going to Carl's house. Hell yeah. Yeah. So people are procrastinating. Well, for me, I don't think it's procrastination as much as it is, well, I know I'm not going to fall asleep right now, so why go to bed?
Well, because okay, so here's my thing. It's if you're having insomnia and you're laying awake in bed, the natural thoughts that arise are, oh shit, I'm not asleep. And then where do you think those thoughts take you? Farther away from sleep or closer to sleep? So it becomes this downward spiral. The more you are resisting the fact that you're not sleeping, then fuels that angst, it fuels that agitation and aggravation. And so if we can get away from sleep, because sleep is not something we can actually control. We can control bringing ourselves up to the point where we are most likely to fall asleep, which I would just call relaxation. So if you're in a dark room, in a nice warm bed, and you're allowing yourself to just relax and enjoy the vacation, and I call it vacation, like if I'm awake at 2 a.m. and I'll have to be awake till 7, I could say, hey, look, I got 5 more hours where no one's going to bug me. No one's going to tell me what to do or ask me I'm free for the next 5 hours to just relax and do nothing. So for me, that's a turn on. I like doing nothing. For some people, doing nothing is a tough thing. because our culture doesn't really like us to do nothing.
Right.
But hey, if you are able to allow yourself to, again, stay in a dark room, nice warm bed, relax, and not get too hooked into this thought, I'm not sleeping.
Might as well watch another episode.
No, well, then you're turning on light.
I don't know what to say.
So we all know what light will do. Light will tell the brain, hey, it's daytime, time to be up. So light is really something to avoid.
I have, except for my light, which these are blue blocker glasses. And I also have this on my laptop. It's called an iJust. I'm only going to do it really fast because they didn't pay me to say it. And it's a screen on my laptop. It's a filter on my laptop. But then I have this light up here.
Yeah, that's an LED light, right?
Yeah, so I do a lot of lowering of the light.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky. You're doing the show, you got to be well lit, right? But
yeah, and I like this time of night too. And I get a lot done at night. But I've been busier lately and doing a lot of stuff like throughout the day, and then I'm doing, like, you texted me and I'm like, oh, I'm still doing dishes and laundry and stuff because I was, running around and stuff. But yeah. And I have to set up for tomorrow morning. See, I'd play a trick with myself. Well, if I do it now, then I won't have to do it in the morning. And if I have the energy to do it now, it's better to do it now than in the morning because I'm more awake now than I am at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. You're a night owl, probably.
Ooh. But I would like to be, people go, oh, I love waking up with the sunrise. I'm like, dude, I love dancing till the sunrise. I do. I would prefer to watch the sunset and do my thing. Yeah, Carl he worked third shift for 11 years before he retired. Yeah, that's definitely a hard one to change. But yeah, I'll start working, and I have people that know where I am, and they're like, gosh, your light was on at 3:30. What were you doing? I go, I don't know. I was cleaning my floor, or not like crazy, but just doing stuff that if I'm awake, I should take advantage of the energy.
Yeah.
And then Lillian will walk out and be like, dude, go to bed already. I'm like, okay, I'll go to bed with you. And then we snuggle, and then that's another half an hour of snuggling and talking. But yeah, never enough time in the morning. So if I can do more at night, then I feel like I'm a little bit ahead of the game.
Yeah.
And then I have my podcast or my whatever on in the background. Me too. Ruth is not a morning person. There are a lot of night owls on this show.
Yeah, self-selecting. Come on. So Dave
Love says Ambien. Oh, I have sleep masks and earplugs. Oh my goodness. I take duct tape with me and close the thing. And
all right, let me say something. I don't want to spoil the party. I'll say something about sleep aids, chemical sleep aids. The hypnotics, they can, quote, put you to sleep, but you don't get all the 4 stages of sleep. It interferes with the natural stages of sleep.
Yeah, but if you sleep.
No.
I love to sleep too. I love sleep.
Yeah.
Benadryl. Everyone's telling their drugs. I like Ambien, Benadryl. I'm drinking magnesium. I'm drinking Calm magnesium right now.
So wouldn't you have to get up and do something in the toilet with all that magnesium?
Well, I don't do a lot of it. I do like a teaspoon.
Okay.
Dave Love says Ambien creates dangerous situations on its own. Yeah, like that sleep eating. I had a roommate that did that. Oh my gosh, you guys. She was an Ambien and something else, some other, and it knocks her out. But in the middle of the night, she gets up in the morning I'd walk out and there'd be like, the whole jar of Saint Benoit. You know that Saint Benoit yogurt? It's this Meyer lemon Saint Benoit yogurt. It is so good. She ate a whole thing, like, a quart or a whole thing of cheese. And I'd be like, dude, did you eat all that cheese? She's like, I don't know. Did I? I'm like,
Mm.
Julie Luce, I like that too. The best sleep hours are 6 to 8 a.m. for her. I like that time till my neighbor starts his diesel truck.
Oh.
So not cool. So not cool. Yeah, some people use tile. I mean, but you know what? If I know you don't get to the 4 stages, but if it's all you can do,
I think, yeah.
besides meditation, and I've like I wear socks to keep my feet warm. I've taken the bath. I have this valerian root tea. What do you think of valerian root tea?
That's fine. Fine. It's better. So any whole plant is going to be better than a single molecule. That's just in
That
general.
makes sense. Just like even in anything, food versus yeah.
Yeah, I believe that. Now, that's not saying that if you're in acute crisis and trauma, that those single molecules don't have a role. But it's not a lifestyle or a long-term solution to most chronic problems.
Yeah, I like
And
valerian tea. Different mixtures of valerian and different.
yeah, well, those are what I call external sleep hygiene. Yeah, do those things. But again, if you're lying awake at whatever time it is for you or for anyone, and they want to be asleep, there's a real trick. And the trick is to let go. There's going to be a part of the mind that will always say, I hate this. I want to be asleep. But there's another part of the mind that can see that's bigger than that, and can, just like watching a movie, normally we're sucked into the plot, but there's a part of you that can suddenly realize, oh, wait a minute, this is a movie. So now you're aware of the plot and that it is a movie. And then the plot doesn't hook you the same way. You're not immersed in it. You're not completely sucked into it. You have the bigger view. So when you're able to see, oh, there's that thought, I hate it that I'm not sleeping, the part that can see that is naturally calm. It's like the sky looking at the weather in the sky, or the ocean looking at the waves on the surface. The ocean's not disturbed by the waves on the surface, and the sky is not disturbed by the weather that's always changing in the sky. They are spacious and open.
Dave Love just said, if I hadn't taken an Ambien every night for the last 20 years, I'd have been up the entire last 2 decades and would have never needed a bedroom.
Hey, sleep deprivation is listed as a form of torture in the Geneva Convention. I get it.
Well, Julie, I mean, if I have hops, I actually have hops here that I make sometimes at night. Not because she just said, "How about my Snowbird Session IPA from the Wasatch Brewery?" Hello, she's currently enjoying. If that makes you tired, and Bill Jones, people like you kind of piss me off. I'm a champion sleeper. I hit the pillow out in 10 minutes. I'm like, what? How do you do that? How do that's like. People I've been with on the plane, they fall asleep in like 9 minutes and then they snore.
Well, there's two main categories of insomnia. One group, it's just hard for them to fall asleep in the beginning. And then there are other people who fall asleep, no problem, but then they wake up in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep. I think that's the larger category. And
I think I'm both.
then there are people who are both.
Like I have like dry skin and I'm set like I have sensitive and dry and all that stuff.
Yeah.
His wife gets mad too. Yeah, she's probably like, Bill. Oh, he's asleep already. Damn. So, do you think those Homo sapiens were sleepers?
Yeah. So that's another interesting thing. Think about anxiety, right?
Bill Winokur just said, I hit the pillow and he's out in 4 hours. Okay, sorry.
No, go for it. We need to laugh.
William falls asleep when he lays down. Good for you. Yeah, I think that's so awesome. Like the other night on my show, I wanted to stay up. Everybody's like, let's keep the party going. And I'm like, you guys, I've been here since 10:15 this morning in a chair, pretty much. Not cool. I can't sit that long. I
Yeah.
don't know how people sit. I don't know how people sit and work at a computer all day long. Like they're like, what do you do? Oh, I just sit in my cubicle and I run numbers all day.
They're gonna pay the price.
How?
So
How do you do that?
the early humans,
Didn't they have
most
to
of
go
the
like this? Yikes, there's a big thing gonna
most of,
eat us.
most of their concerns were fairly immediate. You know, they didn't think, oh man, taxes April 15th are now May 15th. You know,
Wait,
they're
what is it, May 15th now? Has it been extended?
yeah, yeah. So early humans didn't have to think or worry about or even be able to conceive in huge chunks of time into the future. So even the concept of anxiety is fear about the future. And now if a lion walks into the village,
Forget it.
well, it's immediate.
There's my future.
Yeah, it's immediate and it's not going to last that long one way or another. But we were not designed or built for long-term constant worry about some conceptual future. That's just not what we evolved with. It's only very recently that we're able to even conceive of that. And then the idea that the world can maybe not be hospitable. I don't even want to say it because I'm about to become a grandfather.
I know.
And it's horrible to think, but it's in there. It's in there.
You mean it's horrible because you're worried about this child coming into this world?
No, I'm happy the child's coming into the world, but what kind of world?
Right, that's what I mean.
Let's just say before 1945, the idea that humans could destroy the world did not exist. We could cause a lot of trouble for sure, but the idea that the world could end, or at least as we know it, did not exist before the bomb. And now we've got other ways to fuck it.
Yeah, like I mean the water in how many years? I think about that kind of stuff. Like a baby that's being born now will probably live till they're 100. What do you think the longevity of a child being born today? I should ask you versus what I think.
Well, for the first time with COVID, we've slid backwards.
Ah.
We have slid backwards. We may be reaching, I think if we don't screw ourselves, we're capable of living, I don't know, 120 years, 140 years, who knows?
Yeah, I think that way, 120, 140. So our taxes due now, is this a known thing now, April or May 14th?
Yeah, I think the official is May 15th, but there's a lot of wait and see because of the new federal aid package. There's some details that haven't been passed down to the IRS, like regarding PPP loans, regarding Obamacare. Like if you make over a certain amount, and you
17.
and you have to give back all the discounts that you were given last year in terms of premiums for healthcare, you could be slapped with a huge bill if you made more than you thought you would. Well, the new bill, federal aid package, forgives that, but it hasn't been, the bureaucracy hasn't filtered down for the IRS to then send it out to all these tax programs like TurboTax and all the others. So all the accountants are saying, do your taxes, you pay what you think you owe, but we got to hold up. We're not going to file them until all these little details get worked out.
So file, if you can file by April, file by April, and then
Well, it's not due anymore by April, but it's kind of like that Suez Canal scenario.
oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. To me, it's like a blood clot that went to a major artery. It was a stroke, a heart attack for world economy, for world shipping. And we're going to be feeling that for many months.
Dave just said 140 years. 140 years. Oh, so if somebody lives 140 years, that's 51,000 Ambien. Are there side effects after having so many?
Wait, is Dave the one who says he could live on his own without?
Oh,
He's 100.
No, that's
Who's the,
Carl. Carl.
oh, Carl. Yeah. So
I think Carl went to bed.
yeah, he doesn't need Ambien.
No, Carl doesn't need Ambien. We're funny tonight. Is Sean? Did the baby just arrive? What happened? Why did Sean? I heard her say something.
Oh, she's mumbling out in the hall. We had a little baby shower for the grandmas and the great grandmas
So cool.
to be.
Great grandmas.
Yeah.
So cool. Congratulations. Mazel tov and all that. Oh, so who's going to bed? Carl went to bed? Carl didn't. Oh, he didn't go to bed, you guys. Carl's going to be up till like 6 o'clock in the morning. He's probably, who knows?
He's sharpening his knives.
Carl and I just did a really great cover of After the Gold Rush on Saturday. One ship in the desert messed up the whole world. What does that tell us?
Too big to fail. Too big will fail. Oh my God. Too big will fail. Yeah.
So that's why I like to watch Schitt's Creek and Sex in the City and fun stuff. And that's why, because I see this other stuff and then that's not going to help me go to sleep.
Right. I'm sorry I even brought it up. It's like,
No, that's okay. I know.
Yeah.
I pay attention. But what are you watching? What's the show you said?
Oh, Lilyhammer.
Did we talk about that?
Steven Van Zandt. No, E Street Band.
Yeah.
He was in The Sopranos.
No, I know who Stevie. Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah. So then after The Sopranos ended, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years later, I don't know what his connection is with Norway, but it's part Norwegian producers, writers, and Van Zandt. And basically he's a gangster who gets in trouble in New York, goes into witness protection.
Oh, cool.
And they say, so where do you want to go? And he says,
Norway.
well, I really love the Winter Olympics in whatever year it was that was in Norway, in Lillehammer. And he says, no one's going to look for me there. I'm going to Lillehammer. And it's really fun.
I want to watch. Rob Morocco said it's great.
It's really fun.
I just read about this. There are two of them, Italian mafia guys. One of them just got busted after 14 years. He was living on an island. Was it one in Costa Rica or something? There were two guys, but one of them was on a YouTube video, a YouTube cooking video, face blocked out, but his tattoos. And someone reported him, and they found him. Ruth Love is watching a lot.
He was on the lam, right?
For 14 years.
Wow.
And then YouTube. Gotta be careful with those tattoos.
His mom said, yeah, you get tattoos, you're going to regret it.
Somehow they knew his tattoos, and but the other guy, there was another one too, right, Bill? One got popped because of the tattoos, and one I can't remember, but YouTube busted him. The Crows Have Eyes. What is it on Schitt's Creek? The Crows Have Eyes. Have you rewatched Schitt's Creek?
I have not rewatched it.
I highly recommend if you guys see. I watched it the first time on my iPad.
Oh yeah, no.
Then I watched it on a TV, like a big TV. Oh my goodness, Moira's shoot. My mom's like, look at her socks. Look at her shoes. Jenna, you got shoes like that? Yeah, but I don't wear socks. Now I'm going to wear socks with the shoes like that. Oh, it's the second time through, you guys. It's so funny because you hear stuff that you just. She's got the best one-liners, and they're all just fabulous.
Yeah,
I love it. Maybe I'll watch it a third time. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, so Lilyhammer, is that on Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gracie, we got a new show to watch.
Easy. It's easy.
I like that. That's is it like 8 seasons long though?
It's only three seasons.
I can handle that.
Yeah, and the second and third season only have 8 episodes. So, yeah.
I watched one I really enjoyed. I'm wondering if my Canadian friends, did you happen to watch, or did you see it also called Sensitive Skin?
Mm-mm.
It's with Samantha from Sex and the City was on it. I really enjoyed that show, and I liked it because I think the first season was like 7 episodes long.
Okay.
Maybe 6 or 7, and then it came, and then I forgot about it, and then oh wow, Sensitive Skin came back. But anyway,
Killing Eve.
Oh, a lot of people like that.
Yeah. Really well done.
Killing Eve and Lilyhammer, Mama Grace. So then now we can stay up till 2:30. Now we can find something.
Well, okay. Now Lilyhammer. Yeah, you have to have the heavy shows mixed in with the fluffy nonsense shows. You can't do too much.
It doesn't sound light to me. Is it?
Well, it's interesting. It's sort of a farce in some ways. It's satirical. It's there's violence, but it's not heavy.
Yeah, but then people tell me that they go, oh, there's not so much violence in it, Jenna. And then the first 5 minutes, like Ozark, oh, it's not that. And I'm like, I can't.
Ozark is intense.
Yeah.
There's no lightness in Ozark. There are moments, but
I don't know Clarice. Have you seen Clarice?
No.
Rob, Carol, and Stephanie Morocco tomorrow night, you guys, here on 11/11. And tomorrow morning, Patty and I are making all things lemon. Lemon.
Okay, so I have to say it because you're going to hear it from This is it. I'm declaring an invention. I believe I'm the first one to have ever done this. I have leftover matzo balls from Passover, more
You put them
than
in the waffle iron?
the broth. So I just made miso soup and put matzo balls in it.
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody
Matzo
else
miso matzo. I
miso
love
matzo,
it.
miso kanedlak soup. So if you know anyone else who's thought of that,
That's brilliant.
kudos. Yeah.
You liked Mr. Brilliant Friend series? I don't know that. Wow, I thought you were going to say matzo ball into the waffle iron.
No, I can make matzo brie, which is like pancakes made with matzo meal. It's more like French toast made with matzo meal.
Right.
No, matzo balls have to stay in their ball-like form.
Why would I want to watch the after story of the Silence of the Lambs? No interest.
Yeah.
Is that what My Brilliant Friend is? Or Clarice? Oh, Clarice. Got to be Clarice, right? Clarice is from Silence of the Lambs, I think.
You know, I never saw that movie.
Neither did I, Andy. I didn't. And I never will.
I know Shauna would never see it. So I have to see it on my own and sneak it some way. And there are too many other things.
Yeah, I won't see it. I don't. But Clarice, I think that's yeah. Patty says it's good. But My Brilliant Friend, I'm not familiar with that one. So, are you?
Oh, yeah. My Brilliant Friend. Good.
You watch that?
We started to. It's good. You know, two young girls from a Sicilian village. If I'm thinking it's the same, I think that's what it is, right?
I'm all about it.
Yeah.
They are shooting new Outlander. Did you guys watch Outlander?
We did.
Why does this happen? There's a short in my light.
I think the first seasons were way better than the last seasons. Just kind of lost a little steam. I mean, it's still a good show, but it just didn't have the oomph that the first couple of seasons had. I guess it's kind of like a couple that have been together for a long, long time. You know, a lot of excitement.
The Lambs is not a feel-good movie. No.
Yeah.
Hey, are you coming back next week? Can you come back?
Yeah, God willing. Yes. You don't have to ask.
Yeah. He's coming back, you guys. He's coming back.
And I'll promise to market it. I'll market the shit out of it.
Market the shit out of it. Because it's fun. But
Yeah.
you know, the solid core is here. The family is here tonight. And tomorrow night, you guys all come back and see Steph. I'm excited. But tomorrow morning, we're making food. And then Thursday morning, oh my goodness, this person, like you heard earlier, just a little tiny bit.
Coming this Thursday
morning, that voice is going to be where Andy is sitting right now.
Really? They're coming to my house?
Yeah, he's gonna sit right at the end of the pier, at the end of the dock.
Okay.
I think we should have a little photo of you up there at the end of that dock. Whoop, whoop. Thank you. I hope so. Is the baby coming like tonight, maybe?
Oh, no. Well, hope not. May.
Oh, okay.
Probably the earlier to mid part of May.
Like on a Tuesday night around 8-11-ish?
I guessed May 11th because that's a new moon and it's apogee. There's a lot happening on May 11th.
Ooh.
And it's 5/11.
It's 5/11, yeah.
So
and 7. So then that's 7.
It could be 11/11 on the 11th.
We might have to do a party. A lot of people, you might want to read through this feed tonight. It's pretty funny and lots of great praises for you,
Oh,
Doc, Dr. Andrew Rader.
okay. I'll send it to my mom. Let her.
Yeah, Wilma. I love Wilma. Please say hello to her for me.
I will.
Will you
I will.
see her anytime soon? Or you just
She
did?
actually was calling while we were on, and I had to just put her onto voicemail.
Oh, well, tell her really, really,
I'll
really
tell her why.
big
She'll.
hug to
Yeah.
my friend Wilma. I'm grateful for Wilma and Steve on deep, deep levels of my heart.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thanks,
I'll
babe.
let her know.
All right.
Bye,
Say
everyone.
hello to Shauna. Andrew Rader, everyone. See you next week. Chill out, you guys. All right. Go check out After the Gold Rush. It's pretty cosmic and rocky cool. And come back in the morning. Tell your friends about tomorrow morning. Wows. Lots of wows. Wow, 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 wow. You guys are really funny tonight. Thanks for the good laugh, Bill Whitaker. Dave Love. Oh my goodness. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And then let's see. Thursday, Patrick. Thursday night, Victoria. Friday morning, Armando. Friday night, display and share. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Saturday morning, Jeff Metzger. Saturday night, Gary Lambert. Sunday morning, smoothing on into the day. And then Sunday night, Musician Square table. Monday morning, meandering. Monday night, meditation. Tuesday morning. This morning, Mark Ruffin was here. Who knows what'll happen next Tuesday? And Tuesday night, Dr. Andrew Rader. See you in the morning, Patty. I'm gonna slide my counter over and get ready for the party. I am excited. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Carol. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Bill. Mama Grace. Dave Love. Julie Lou's, Patty. Y'all know who you are. Ruth Love, I love you. Mwah. Big hug. Another big hug. Thanks for hanging out on
11 with Jenna. 11 with Jenna. 11 with Jenna. 11. Who you gonna call right now? 11 with Jenna. With Jenna. 11 with Jenna. Right now. 11 with Jenna. With Jenna. It's 11. Who you gonna call right now?
And if you feel like it, Patreon, PayPal, Venmo, P.O. Box, whatever. It's all there. Delightful thoughts, dutiful words, and a dedicated heart. Sleep well tonight, you guys. Just sleep. We'll do some more meditation on Monday for sleep, and then we can all sleep next Monday night. Think about it. Next Monday, we'll all sleep. Mama Grace, I'll see you in a couple minutes. Everybody else, I'll see you when I see you. Stay safe, stay healthy, be nice. Love hard. Really hard.